Hey folks, Luxinda Swirl here. We are going to try a new to me tumbler method. And I really, there are a lot of components here, so I don't know how this is going to go, but I am in a video and I'm going to show it to you. Hopefully it'll turn out looking pretty cool. Here's the basic idea. I'll describe it real quick and then I will gear up and just show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to mix up about 80 milliliters of resin. 1 ounce for it is going on a separate tumbler I have over here that's not connected to this project, so I'll put that aside. Then I'm going to take about 15 milliliters, 20 milliliters, and mix in some black acrylic paint. This is your basic apple barrel from Walmart. I want a black opaque resin. Even though I've already spray painted the tumbler black, I want the resin to be black as well. And the reason is that the resin will become a component of the design. So I need a little bit of substance to it. It's not going to move around a lot. I'm not going to put a lot on, but I need there to be some resin that's black that will go with the other colors. And I will pour out little amounts of resin into these other cups I have here, and I will mix into each of those some various things like reflections. This is frost blue. It's an ultrafine glitter, I think, or a superfine. Chrome silver, chrome mica powders, chrome purple, chrome light purple, blue mica. This is from Crafter's Choice, celestial blue. And then for silver, I'm going to add some of my holographic twinkle super extra ultra fine glitter resin additive into some resin. That will be my silver. I already have chrome silver. This will be a different silver. So these are all colors that a person has requested, and we are going to attempt to put them in a really cool looking design on this tumbler. And then I will actually be putting a decal in this tumbler when I'm all done, but we're going to see how this goes first. So stay tuned. I hope you enjoy the show. I forgot to mention the tool I will be using to apply the small amounts of colored resin to the black tumbler is this. It is a silicone tipped, what you call this, a wedge, a sharp wedge tool. It's one of a pack. There's smaller versions are the light blue handles, larger versions are the brown handles. They come in a set of different sizes and shapes, and they're used for clay sculpting, for painting, for lots of different things. I will link to this below along with links to everything else in this video. So commonly you might see in some, like the Galaxy cups, people will dip a popsicle stick into the resin and then they will sort of string a line of resin across. Well, I don't want that much resin at each time I apply some. I'm going to use this tool. I'm going to get some resin on it, and then I'm going to basically draw a thin line in different places on the tumbler with the resin. That's how I'm going to get the colors on there. Much thinner line, much smaller amount. So that's what I wanted to show you. Let's get going. We're back. That, like most of my first time resin tumbler techniques, did not go at all as planned, but let's see what we have this morning because I'm really genuinely curious how this turned out. I have to say, I already think it looks better than I expected. Put on a little more light here. I know I said I was going to carefully place small lines instead of just, well, you saw what I did. And what I did was not at all what I described, even though I actually ended up using 2 of these because one broke in the middle. I've managed to put it back together, but the silicone tips on these things, just FYI, they are not glued into place. They will pull out. I tried to wipe the resin off, one color of resin off, so I could switch to the next color without infecting one with the other, and the whole tip came right out and I couldn't get it back in with my gloves on, so I grabbed another one and used that halfway through. I don't think you can tell because I've sped it up so fast because it was so flippin' boring. I can't believe 45 minutes went by. Well, yeah, I can because it was torturous, but anyway, here is how it turned out this morning. I think it looks really gorgeous. I'm thrilled with it, even though I absolutely need to work on perfecting this hatching technique. Hatching, by the way, does not come from, the idea of hatching out an egg, for example, or hatching an egg to get a birdie. It comes from cross-hatching. So this is half of a crosshatch, in essence. You're not doing the diagonal the other way. But anyway, I think it turned out really pretty. I do see some spots that I'm not thrilled with. Maybe that can be where the decal goes. So the decal part is next, and I will take you through that, and we will put on a decal. I will do one more layer of epoxy resin, and hopefully this cup will be good to go. Okay, time to put on the decals. We're going to start with the small one that goes on the bottom first. I have already had my Cricut cut it out. I have pulled off or weeded the excess, and now I am going to take my transfer tape and hopefully transfer the decal from its original backing paper onto the transfer tape. It may take a little more effort. I'll burnish her. Sorry, I'm trying to do this so you can see. There we go. Okay, so now it is on my transfer tape, and I am going to put it across here in line with the handle. She is a right-handed person, so theoretically when she's tipping her cup up, anybody looking at her at that moment will see this on the bottom. Trying to do this so you can see it. I'm a lefty personally. So I'm now doing this burnishing with my undominant hand. Means I'm even klutzier than usual is what that means. All right. So when I decided what vinyl to use, obviously black would just completely disappear on this cup. So I was thinking white, and I thought, yeah, white's gonna be, I don't know, white's gonna be too white. We've got all this delicious sparkliness. I didn't want to just put white all over it. It seemed kind of plain. So I grabbed a sheet of Silver Sparkle Holographic, and I thought, well, that's gonna go the opposite way, and that's going to detract by being overly flashy from the sparkly deliciousness of the cup. So I settled on a plain silver metallic. So that's what we're doing for both the decals. Now again, she is right-handed, means she's gonna hold it like this, and that means we want the decal here so that when she's sipping from the other side, people will be able to see what it says. I could actually put decals on both sides, but I'm not going to. I'm going to do it on this one side. Sit straight. Okay, and here's what we're putting on as the main decal, which is brew. This is going to be a little trickier because I have a curve to deal with, so I'm going to be doing a lot of slits in my transfer tape. And what that means is, I'll show you, and we'll see if this works. I am not particularly experienced at applying decals yet. I have been pretty lucky so far. Hopefully I'll get lucky with this one too. We'll put our transfer tape on, do a bit of burnish from the back. And hopefully pull, and let's do it from the back. Pull the backing paper off and have the decal on the transfer tape. Yay! Okay, so there it is. So now I'm going to bring this back. Hopefully you can see it. And I would just bend it like a taco, sort of taco shell. And put the middle down first. And then very, very carefully, again, I may need to cut slits in my transfer tape. It doesn't matter if the transfer tape wrinkles, it's the actual vinyl I don't want to wrinkle. So we can cut some slits just to facilitate everything laying flat. Hopefully, I'm not liking how that's looking. Okay, stretch it a little, can you see? Just really want to encourage it, go slow. Encourage it to lay flat. Again, it's the vinyl you care about. The transfer tape can wrinkle if it needs to. It's the vinyl we want to have lay flat. And there it is. Yay, it worked. Hallelujah. I think that looks pretty cool. I do. Now we are going to take a tip from the Purple Stitch, who got the tip from one of her subscribers. I will link to that video where she shows it in action. And I am going to apply UV resin around the edges of the decal and stick it out in the sunshine, and that will hold the decal in place so that I don't have to worry about it lifting off when I apply the next complete layer of epoxy resin. It works pretty well. Another option is to use the CC DIY the Counterculture DIY Quick Coat urethane sealer. Another option is to spray a couple coats of the Rust-Oleum 2X Clear. That also tacks things down. I have found the UV resin to be the most dependable when it comes to edges of vinyl lifting away. It provides a little more substance to hold them down, because you're actually applying resin, so that the epoxy resin can't possibly get underneath any of the edges and lift up. This is my UV resin. I got this from Amazon. It's from a company called Miracle Coo. Miracle Coo. I will link to everything below, everything I've used in this video, including the UV resin. Let me get a glove. Okay, I will tell you that one thing I have made the mistake with the UV resin in this situation in the past is I put too much on. And in that case, I end up with really big drips or big globs, and then I have to wait until it's cured, sand it down. It's just kind of, I make more trouble and more work for myself doing that. The idea here is to apply just a very small amount and smear it around the edges and not let it, congeal anywhere else and create big blobs that you have to deal with later. So I'm going to try and be a lot more careful on this one. Again, I hope you can see this. I'm left-handed, so my left hand's going to be in the way. Maybe if I flip you to the other side, hang on a second. Okay. This stuff really stinks. I should be working with it in a much more ventilated area than I am. I will try and hold my breath so I won't be talking. And we are just going to do a little at a time. There we go. Okay, there we go. I'll put this outside. And we're back. Let's see how our tumbler did last night. Oh boy, it's looking good. That is beautiful. Beautiful smooth finish. Oh, I couldn't be happier with that. Look at how pretty that is. It's so beautiful. I love it. I love it. I love it. And one thing you may have noticed earlier on, but I didn't demold this. I'm going to now. I'm hoping that since this contains all the leftover colors from making this hatching mug, or hatched mug, that this might be, depending on how it looks, a coaster that goes with the Witch's Brew cup. So let's see if that worked out. I put the leftovers from the clear top coat of epoxy into here to fill the mold up last night a little more. We will demold this and see how it looks. Well, it's not the most beautiful coaster, but it does match, kinda. Kinda. It's got all the same colors. Kinda. It's too bad that the silver this was the twinkle additive spot here. That didn't really come through. The turquoise glitter did what it does. Glitter sinks. It sank and took over the spot. But I still think that's pretty. I may send it along anyway. Because, you know, teacup, matching saucer, or matching coaster. Well, there you have it, folks. There's another project in the bag. Thanks for joining me for this video. Stay safe. I'll see you in the next one.